So here are the phases of the moon. So we have our half waxing, our waxing crescent, our new moon, which means you can't see it at all, our waning crescent, our half waning, our waxing or waning gibbous, our full moon, you can see the whole moon, our waxing and our waxing gibbous. All right, so those are different phases. All right, so there are some misconceptions that I wanted to tell you guys about the moon. A misconception is that phases of the moon are caused by Earth's shadow. Phases of the moon are caused by our view of the moon at different points as it goes around the Earth, so not by the Earth's shadow. People think the Earth changes shape when it changes phases. The moon actually never changes shapes. It's always a sphere. Sphere is a ball. It's an example of a sphere. It looks like it changes shape because parts of it aren't visible without the sunlight reflecting off of it. Another misconception is that the moon generates its own light. The moon does not have its own light. There's no energy sources on the moon to generate light. The moonlight is what we see is just reflected sunlight. Is what that is. Another misconception. A misconception is that the moon always rises at night and sets in the morning. The moon actually rises an hour later each day due to the combination it takes the moon to orbit to go around the Earth and the time it takes for the Earth to rotate on its own axis. The misconception is that there's a dark side of the moon. The moon has no side that's constantly dark. The front and back are alternately lit as it orbits the Earth. So it depends on how the moon is going around the Earth. Meaning the side currently away from the sun is a more accurate term, and that side is going to keep changing as it keeps orbiting. So the moon phases are caused by the position of the moon and how it relates to the Earth and the sun. The phases go from the new moon to crescent to half to gibbous to full to gibbous to half to crescent and then a new moon again. The moon is waxing when it's getting brighter each day and waning when it's less illuminated. Everyone on Earth always sees the same phases of the moon. So you can't be in one country and see different phases of the moon. We always see the same phase of the moon because we all live on Earth. The moon is about a third the size of Earth. The radius is 1,079 6/10 miles. It has a core, a mantle, and a crust, so middle, outer, and an outer. Like Earth, the surface of the moon experiences steady impacts from meteors, asteroids, comets, creating a pock-marked surface covered with dust and debris that reflects sunlight. The light areas of the moon, called highlands, are volcanic rock. The moon has a weak atmosphere called an exosphere. Planets and moons in the solar system. There are 8 planets in our solar system. All but 2 have moons, starting closest to the sun. Mercury and Venus have no moons. Earth has 1. Mars has 2. Phobos and Deimos. Jupiter has 67 moons. Saturn has 62 moons. Uranus has 27. Neptune has 14. Pluto is not considered a full planet anymore. It's considered a dwarf planet, but it does have 5 moons, including moons that circle other moons. And moons that circle dwarf planets. There are 182 moons in our solar system. It's crazy. So the scientists are still finding more. The moon causes the tides in ocean because the moon's gravitational pull creates a tidal force that pulls on the water and causes it to bulge out on the side of the Earth facing the moon. The water also bulges out on the side of the Earth opposite the moon at the same time. And the bulges are high tides and flatter parts are low tides. And this is a more complex phenomena that is often addressed later. So there you go. Just another